guys. I'm going to not say this is going to be short and sweet. I'm just going to talk. And however long it is, that's how long it is. What I'm going to do is talk about what I have to do for the day today, how much time I have left to do it, and the thoughts moving forward. So anyway, first things first, what I wrote down when I was writing my diet out for 75 Hard was that I take my vitamins. I wrote vitamins, and I did take them yesterday, but I did not take the nighttime ones, which would be my magnesium and my zinc. So I didn't take those. And so, truthfully, all day today, I was like, well, bro, that's not part of a fucking diet. And that's just me being a fucking pussy, just thinking about it. And so, for that reason alone, I just barely decided that, I failed 75 Hard. So, today is day one, which sucks. It is what it is, but today's day one. So, everything that I've done today has been on point for day one. So, it's not like tomorrow, I start. But, yeah, it's all good. The reason, again, why I chose to really acknowledge that and just force myself to restart is because, dude, I'm going to get to 75 and be like, dude, first day, I didn't even take my vitamins. So, no, it doesn't count. So, I didn't want that to happen. And as much as it sucks to, fail myself, it's just the right thing to do. It's just 100% the right thing to do. So, oh well, live and learn. But the other thing is that I don't have the proper nutrition set up to be hitting 220 grams of protein every day, given the fact that I'm only eating 8 hours per day. And I pretty much start that at work and then end it even before I go to bed. So my window of eating is 11 to 7 because I'm doing intermittent fasting for the diet. And because truthfully, when I did that last year, that was great. I really liked it. I enjoyed it a lot. Of course, it has some drawbacks, but I just didn't have to worry about eating. I didn't have to worry about going to first break at work. So I was able to take that break and, spend it at my desk or doing my own stuff. So it worked really well for me. So I want to keep doing that. So definitely going to do it for a cut. But here's the thing. So I've never ever lean bulked ever in my life. I've never kept it strict, and I don't even want to say strict. I've never kept a close monitor of caloric intake and muscle building and stuff like that while or after a cut. I've always just gone directly back into a bulk. And I think that's fine, but I just feel like right now I've kind of blown up a little bit because I took bulking out of control, which is interesting because my calories would say otherwise, but I guess either my total daily energy expenditure is much lower than I thought. Or I guess is much lower than I thought, because it wouldn't make sense for me to blow up like this. So, I recorded a story post today, and I looked at myself, and I thought, dude, I'm getting chubby again. What's going on? So it's definitely something that comes with bulking, for sure, because you're gaining weight, and you can't. It's very unlikely that when you gain weight, it's purely muscle. You're always going to gain some kind of fat with it. That's just how it goes. So. Yeah, but, I was just feeling, I got so many thoughts going on in my head lately, and one of them being, if I'm going to be a fitness coach, I feel like I should look the part, at least for a little bit, so I can get more content, more footage, more videos, all that stuff, and look like I know what I'm talking about. Now, I've been posting a lot of old videos and photos and stuff where I am much leaner and probably much bigger, much stronger, just, currently in my life, I have peaked up to this point in my life, and it's probably 5 years ago, and I've yet to get back to that point. And I know that I can. I know I can surpass it 100%, but I just have to quit being a weenie head and do it. So, yeah. So with the whole 75 hard thing, the whole thought is, okay, dude, what if I just went 10 weeks? Because that's how long the program is. What if I just went 10 weeks, made this happen? Intermittent fasting, 2 workouts a day, and what would that look like for me? Because if I'm losing pound and a half, 2 pounds, say 1 to 2 pounds a day, a week, that's 10 to 20 pounds lost. So I'd be ending this whole thing at 185 to 175, and 10 pounds of fat lighter to 20 pounds of fat lighter, I would definitely have abs. And I would like to have that for the California road trip that Lexi and I are going on this summer for our birthdays. And I would also just like to look the part because I'm a goddamn fitness coach, you know? I feel like with a shirt on, I still look like I lift, stuff like that. I'm not that hard on myself in that regard, but I don't know. I could do videos with my shirt off and people would be like, oh, yeah, he lifts, you know? Not like, oh, super shredded, super buff, but just, yeah, he's lean. You can tell he's got cuts. He works out, whatever. So that's the goal there. And I also feel 10 times better about everything that I'm doing when I am actively practicing what I preach. So when I'm tracking my calories and I'm getting high amounts of protein and I'm doing all this stuff, I feel 10 times better about everything that I'm doing. And part of the program, actually, for the Allegiant Fit program is I want to be able to make all my stuff public so that all my clients can see my FitnessPal diary. They can see my workouts. They can see how I'm doing. You know, I'm checking in with them. I think that's very beneficial. I would love to know if I hired some mentor or some coach, I think it would be sweet to see how they're doing it day to day so I can pick stuff up from them just by them doing what they normally do rather than them coaching me. For example, if the mastermind that I'm in, I think it would be cool as shit if Brian or Cole, those are the guys that lead the shit, if they just recorded just them showing how they record content and the behind the scenes stuff like that, or their workouts or, stuff like that. I would just love to be able to do that. It's a different level of accountability. And I think that's an added bonus, an added feature to coaching that I could implement, something that I've never, ever seen before, really, in any program that I've ever been a part of. With any kind of education or schoolwork or any kind of course or certification or this mastermind that I'm in now or previous coaching programs. I could follow the guy on social media and see like, oh, he's going for a 2-mile run or whatever. Like, that's cool. And that's kind of what I'm talking about. But to be able to see their calories and to be able to see their macros and the specific foods they're eating, to be able to see their lifts and what they got on each lift and stuff like that, that's cool, dude. And so if I could see that from my coach, I think that'd be very beneficial for me. And I think it'd be partly inspiring, partly, okay, well, if Bryson's doing it, then I can do it too. That's kind of the idea. But in doing so, as me, the coach, I would gain that accountability because it's like, dude, I got 8 guys that are looking at my shit right now. I can't be just eating a fucking cookie right now, And, it's much easier said than done. And I've always talked about this, that I feel like I'm all or nothing. And sometimes that's good, sometimes that's horrible. But I was looking through old photos today because I made a post. I just went through and found a couple photos from each year of my lifting journey, and I just posted them. And I said, I just wrote a post about it. And when I went all the way back, I found some very skinny photos of me. And then around 2016, 2017, well, yeah, 2016, 2017, those photos, how I look then, that's exactly how I look now, dude. I weigh the same, I look the same. So I think about it, I'm like, dude, 9 years have gone by and I haven't done shit? Wow. That's a fucking decade. That's 10% gone of my life, But of course, I think it was 2019, 2020, that's when I had the greatest physique I've had. It's when I was the strongest I've ever been. And that was just because I started taking shit much more serious. And I'm not taking it very serious right now. And I don't mean super serious, like I can't go out or no more date nights with Lexi because I gotta make sure that I'm eating clean and only asparagus and rice. No, that's not what I mean. I mean just living the fucking lifestyle that is being a fitness professional, because right now I feel like a fraud, straight up. My knees fucking hurt. I got 2 herniated discs in my back. I got man boobs. Face is kind of puffy. I don't got abs. I question everything that I say online because I don't want to be seen as someone who doesn't know what they're talking about. I don't want to lose credibility. All my certifications are expired. Competed in a show, and I did well, but it was only because there were so many people, and so I'm really hard on myself in that regard. So if I'm going to be a fitness professional, then I have to be a professional, and that means taking my shit serious. That means spending more time with fitness than the average person. That means tracking my shit. Doing better or taking actual photos of myself and making them good. That means designing workouts that are actually beneficial for what my specific goals, all this stuff. And a lot of that stuff I'm already doing, but a lot of it I'm not. So yeah, man, I'm just very annoyed with myself. I'm very irritated with my fraudulent behavior, and I say that because sometimes I say some things and I just don't do them. Sometimes I say, oh, I'm doing this thing, it's gonna be sweet. I'm doing this thing over here, it's awesome, it's gonna be cool. Made this thing, spent a couple hours doing this, and then I just don't do anything. It's like, okay, I made an Excel sheet and now I'm not using it, but I made it, and or I made this workout program. It's 12 weeks long. I'm so excited to use it. But then I start doing it, but I'm not even eating right. I'm not doing the stretching part of it. I'm not doing the water part of it. I'm hit and miss with my vitamin. Like, it's all or nothing, bro. Like, come on, get your shit together. Let's make this fucking happen. That's how I feel, dude. And I saw this thing on social media this morning, I think, or yesterday. But it was like, if you were in a movie, what would the audience be screaming at you to do or to stop doing? When you're watching a horror movie and the person, they just turn off all the lights and then they walk down the hall. It's like, dude, turn on the fucking light. Whatever that is in the movie that is my life, that's when I think about what would the audience be screaming for me to do. It would be, dude, get off your fucking ass and just do something, Put your phone down, edit these videos, record this podcast, go to the gym. Don't eat the cupcake, you dumbass. All this stuff, And, I could pick myself apart, and I'm not going to, even though I just did. But I just, dude, it's just, I don't know, man. And I think my mic is very quiet right now. Why is that? What's going on? Let's fix this. Hello? Is that better? I don't know. But, yeah, so the whole idea, doing 75 hard, that will definitely get me, if it's anything like the first go around, it'll definitely get me hardened mentally. And with all the workouts, because if I'm doing just 5 a week now, then I go to 14, granted they're not the same resistance training workouts, but they are cardio, even if it's 200 calories for a 3-mile walk, I don't know. Well, let's see. Siri, how many calories? My guess, let's see, it's got to be like 250 for a 3-mile walk. Yeah, for sure. Hey, Siri, how many calories would you burn at a steady pace walking for 3 miles? I guess it wouldn't matter, huh?
Here's an answer from
Wow, dude. And it says, if you weigh 150 pounds and walk 3 miles per hour, you will burn approximately 225 calories in an hour. So 3 miles is about an hour for me. So I was actually very close. See, right there. I know exactly what the fuck I'm talking about. How did I just pull 250 out of my ass like that? It's because I fucking knew, I just feel like I second guess everything when it comes to fitness, I'm making these videos and I'm recording content and I'm like, is that actually true? Is a carbohydrate not an egg? I mean, that's obviously an exaggeration, but I'd be thinking shit like that, So I just want to not have that be the case, I'm just so hard on myself, dude. It's ridiculous. It's I don't know what else to say. It's absolutely ridiculous. Anyway, so with the 75 hard, the mental toughness there, and the weight loss, it'd be cool if I could drop 10 pounds, 20 pounds of fat. And then the point that I have not gotten to yet would be to then, if I'm 10 weeks paying attention to my diet and my food and all that stuff as closely as possible, to then go on a lean bulk and actually do it correctly. And from there, live that lifestyle to where I'm as lean as I can be most of the time, but I'm still in a surplus enough that I'll build muscle, but not gain the added fat that comes with bulking. Because I've never done a lean bulk, ever. I'm sure that I've tried in the past, but I've never really committed to it and made it happen because I'm like, oh, dude, I only gained 1 pound this month. That's fucking bullshit. But it's like, dude, I can gain a pound of muscle a month, and that'd be what I gain for the month. Or I can gain 5 pounds a month and feel like I gained more, but know in my heart that it's only 1 pound, and those are just exaggerated numbers. But shit, a pound of muscle a month, 12 years into lifting. That's crazy. As a natural, yeah, that's no. But anyway, that's that. That's the whole idea with 75 hard and the diet, the nutrition, stuff like that. Because it's just 10 weeks away. So it's actually less than that because 11, well, more, almost 11 weeks. It's 11 weeks because you have, 77 days in 11 weeks. There's 75 days, so it's 11 weeks long. Fuck it. So anyway, that's that. Now the other thing is that I'm not spending my time wisely at all. Woke up this morning and I was like, you know what, dude, I don't want to go to work. And so I'm not going to. I'd rather, get ahead of meal prep and I'd rather go on a walk because it's fucking beautiful. And so I did. I used some PTO and it was a great day. However, I spent the first, and I'm going to tell it like it is. I spent the first 4.5 hours of my day laying in bed, scrolling social media and playing chess. The fuck am I doing? What am I doing? So that's 4.5 hours right there. So I got up, started getting my shit together, did my outdoor workout, of which I felt incredible. And then I went to the store, did some very mini meal prep, and then I bought 2 new loofahs and some eggs. And you know how eggs are $500 per 6 count. I left them at the store. And so I called them and I said, hey, I left some stuff there. Can I just come grab it? And they're like, yeah, what's in the bag? Can you tell us? And I was like, yeah, eggs and loofahs. And they're like, oh, yeah, we got it. We put the eggs away, though, and I'm like, yeah, please put them away because I'm not there. And eggs, they need to be cold. Thank you. Anyway, so spent $500 on 5 eggs and I left them there. So that sucks, but it's all good. I'll go back and get them. I just show them my receipt, so I'm not worried about that. But, so yeah, I got ahead of some meal prep a little bit. I'm gonna still cook tomorrow. I only made 8 burritos. I made these burritos, dude, fucking delicious. But only made 8. Should have made 14. And tomorrow I need to make 14 of some kind of meal that's very lean because I discovered that these burritos. This is what I'm talking about, man. I don't know how I overlooked this, but these burritos are high in fat. They're very high in fat because there's avocados, eggs, this tortilla. It's got some cheese, and it's got ground chicken. I think it's 98% lean, so it's got some fat. But when you add all of it together in the serving sizes that I put in there, it's 40 grams of fat. I think it's 43 grams of fat. And fat's not bad. You need fat for sure. But in that amount for one meal kind of complicates the rest of my day a little bit because I would like to be able to eat more foods that are of a higher fat intake, but that kind of puts a kibosh on that. So also learned with those protein muffins that I just made. I made some Kodiak protein muffins. The bake mix is very lean, but when you add in the oil and the eggs and the milk, the fat content goes up. I think it's 17 grams of fat per 2 muffins, which that's not bad. But if I'm gonna have 4 muffins or even 6, because I made muffins that are twice the size, so 1 muffin is the equivalent of 2, and if I have 2, that means I have 4 of the serving size, which means my fat content is closer to, what was that, 40, something like that, 30, 34, I think. If it's 17, then times 2, yeah. Anyway, yeah. So all that to say, today this is one of the. This just fuels the fire of feeling like I'm unqualified to be doing anything with fitness, even though I know that I'm not, I did my diet so wrong today as far as macros go that in order for me to hit my protein before 7 o'clock, which is in 50 minutes, I had to give myself a protein shake with not 1 scoop, not 2 scoops, but nope, not 3 scoops, but 4, just playing, not even 4, but 5 scoops of protein. A normal blender bottle, it was halfway full of just powder. And I've been sipping it because I'm not trying to just down that. when I took a sip, it was so thick, and I was like, oh fuck me, you know. So I got some now. It's probably halfway gone, but that makes it so I'll hit my protein, and that's part of my diet for 75 hard. And I don't want to restart, so I'm not going to. But I did my diet wrong, and so we're gonna fix that for sure. What I actually did was yesterday. When I started yesterday, my goal was 220 protein. And today, I'm like, dude, even if I have 5 scoops, I'm still going to be about 20 grams short of 220. What the fuck am I doing wrong? I'm not doing anything wrong. I am doing a lot wrong. I just didn't account for the muffins as I thought, and the burrito really is a lot. So it is what it is, dude. It's fine. But what I did there is I lowered my protein from 220 to 200 and failed myself, so that it wouldn't be like mid-program I lower, you know. And the reason, so here's the thing. So I'm cutting, and I want to be able to cut and lose the weight. So I can still get that protein, no problem. But the problem is I don't have enough calories to get the protein exclusively. So what I mean, and I'm just going to paint a very easy example, is 25 grams of protein is 100 calories. And if I need 100 grams of protein, that means that's 400 calories. Now, if I only have available 300 calories, then it's literally impossible for me to get that protein in, even if it's just purely protein, and not go over my caloric limit, because that's part of the diet. It's a rule. So, so failed myself for yesterday, and then adjusted it so that protein was 200, and I can adjust it higher if I want, but I'm not going to go lower. And for the longest time, I think it was 220 or 210, 220, 225. I don't know. It's on this podcast. You can go back and listen to episode 200-ish. Let's think. So it was it was about 9 months ago. 270. So episode 300-ish, around that time frame. So that's when I had all my streaks going, my water, my protein, my ice bath, stuff like that. And also shout out to Lexi for doing cold showers for her crucible for the blade. That's some boss shit right there. I don't even want to do that, but she's like, yeah, I'll do it. And yeah, so props to Lexi, strong ass woman. What else we got? Maybe let's finish my thought. Okay, so with the whole, what was I just talking about, dude? Oh yeah, so with the 75 hard, the adjusting, everything, yeah. So that's where I'm at with that. Still doing the blade, and I'm on day 19. So I got 11 more days of this. I think it's 12 more days. Yeah, I'm on 19. That's 12 more days. 19, 20, 1 to 10. So that's still going good. It's tough because it's just stuff I don't think about. Dude, what's tough for me is, dude, this has been the most apparent recurring theme in my life, and that is I wouldn't even call it procrastination. It's like I'm just not even aware of the thing that I need to do until I have to be aware that I have to do it. Meaning, okay, for example, perfect example, and to illustrate the point, yesterday I was just killing my water all day. And then I got time to go to bed, and I looked. I still had half a gallon to go. And I was like, dude, you're fucking kidding me. And so I drank a half gallon 30 minutes before bed, and I woke up to pee 5 times. And that sucks. But, you know, why is that? Why do I have 16, hours in my day, and I then at 30 minutes before bed decide to say, yep, I need to get my water in. Definitely got to set my clothes out, got to brush my teeth, still got to shower. Haven't uploaded the podcast yet. And got to clean this up, got to get my clothes, whatever. Like, why? That has been the most recurring theme in my life, not even close to anything else. For example, it's 6:15. I still have to finish this protein shake. I got to finish this yogurt. How much water do I have? I have to drink, 75 more ounces of water to hit my gallon. I mean, I'm not going to go to bed for another 3 hours because today's Thursday and I don't work tomorrow. But why do I do that? I don't. It's one of the most frustrating things about me that I have to change ASAP if I have any hopes of doing anything big. Woke up this morning and I spent the first almost 5 hours doing nothing. I woke up, dude. That's one thing that I really don't like when I do. When I use PTO at work, and then instead of using that time productively, not being at work, I just don't use it at all. So it's like, why didn't I just go to work then? Because I would have had free time at work and I would have been paid, and I also wouldn't have to use PTO. So, and yeah, you can argue, yeah, it's nice, it's relaxing. I'm in my own home, it's comforting, it's quiet, warm, cozy, whatever. But dude, I don't know. I get so angry with myself right there. And then, for me and honest, like ego seeps in and I'm like, dude, how can I possibly be as fucking bummy and as average and as so sloppy as all these other people? But yet I know all these things, and I've read all these books, and I'm in a mastermind, and I'm having this coaching with Mina and all this stuff. Like, how could I possibly be the same level as someone else, And that's just pure ego, 100%. I understand. But that's that. But anyway, so the other thing that I wanted to talk about really quick is, dude, I don't know, man. If you go back and listen to the one-on-one call with Mina, and it was the one where he said I was too smart for my own good or whatever. And I said, dude, I've been told that so much. That episode where I was just being open, and I was like, dude, these 5 hours is tough. I don't want to have to worry about it. And I was thinking about it because he's like, oh, well, what would you do with those 5 hours? Like, what are you so pressed with that you need that time so badly right now? And in the moment, I was just like, fuck, I have no idea, dude. I just feel like I need to be doing something. And I feel like I'm not when I'm working on your stuff. I didn't say that, but it's how I feel. But when he said that, I'm like, oh, yeah, I'm just overthinking it, because how could I be busier than Mina? And Mina is making 50 grand every 2 weeks, fuck. And the more I think about it, dude, the more it's like, it's not even that it's the time. It's just that it takes my focus away from anything that I want to do, and specifically working on my stuff, and puts that focus, time, energy, effort, all that into not my stuff. I think that's why I struggle. Because, for example, tomorrow, what I have on the schedule is wake up at 6, grocery shop 7 to 8, which I don't know how much of that I'm going to do because I got a little bit today. Still have to go, but it's all good. And then meal prep from 8 to 2. And I don't think it's going to take me 6 hours because I did about 3 hours worth today. But let's just say it does. That's meal prep, grocery shop, whatever, from 6 to 2 o'clock. From 2 o'clock to 2:30, I have free time. From 2:30 to 8 o'clock, that's when I have to do check-ins for Mina. I don't fucking want to, dude. And it's nothing against Mina, but dude, I don't want to do check-ins. I don't want to spend time working on somebody. Dude, when I think about this, I really go down the rabbit hole of like, dude, what the fuck am I doing? Because, for example, we've talked back and forth. He wants me to work on the Go High Level thing for him, the software that's going to make his business a lot better, more efficient. And I want to work on that. However, I was supposed to work on that on Monday. And then I thought, nope, I got a meal prep. And then so I did. And then I pushed it till Tuesday. And then Tuesday rolled around. I'm like, no, I have to film content. I've been putting it off. I have to. So I did. Then I realized it was taking a lot longer than I anticipated. So I had to push it to Wednesday. And because Wednesday I didn't finish all my editing, I had to push it to today. Now, because today I was lazy with time and all this shit, and I'm still editing videos. I edited 2 more today, and it took me about 45 minutes. I don't know what the fuck happened. I don't know how I did 11 in 5 hours, but I can barely do 2 in like an hour, because, well, it's probably an exaggeration. It's probably like 2.5 hours. What's going on, And so because I can't work on Go High Level today for him, I got to push it to tomorrow. And because I can't do it tomorrow, because of the grocery shop and the check-ins, I'll have to push it to Saturday. Now, Saturday is when I actually film content and edit content, and it's also date night. So, I can't do it then. So, okay, so I'll push it till Sunday. Sunday, I can. So it's like I'm committing. It's like, dude, this is a perfect example. He's like, what do you need all this time for? It's like, dude, I'm just fucking doing my shit, Obviously, I could improve the systems and it's taking too long. I could make things better 100%. But, dude, it's just, I don't even want to have to worry about somebody else's stuff. Because here's the thing, dude. If he's going to, this is just me being kind of pessimistic, I guess, or just negative. But if he's going to pay me $1,000 for this thing, that's fucking awesome. And I want to make it happen. But when I mentioned, like, hey, I'll track my hours, he says, oh, I thought it was just a fixed rate. And I was like, yeah, but if it takes me so much longer, I, just want to make sure that those hours are accounted for. Meaning, hey, if it takes me 60 hours to do this, I want to be paid for 60 hours because if you're paying me $1,000, let's just do the math here, for 60 hours, that's $16 an hour. You can go fuck yourself, dude. I'm good. And that's not saying go fuck yourself, Mina, but that's just go fuck yourself to the whole idea of I'll pay you $16 an hour, I'm good, bro. And this is a hefty-ass software, dude. I think it's going to take me some time to set up. So I would have to be able to set this entire thing up from top to bottom in 33 hours. And I've probably already sank 3 hours into it, and I haven't made any progress, okay? I'm not trying to be bitchy. It's just what it is. And so it's like, okay, well, if I spend all my free time next week working on it, in theory, it should be done, and I should get the $1,000. But this fucking software is so hefty, dude. There's no way. And that's not, again, not being pessimistic, not complaining, not bitching. It's just like, hey, I need you to train for this marathon, and I need you to do it by next week, all right? Can you do that? It's like, well, I guess I fucking technically could, but no, not really, Like, I can do my best, but I'm probably not going to be ready. And then because I'm not going to be ready, I'm going to be training more. And so I'm really thinking this through because I wanted to quit working for him. And again, I don't even know if Mia listens to these. No idea. If you do, love you, dude. Nothing against you. You're great. You're a fucking awesome leader for sure. But I just want to be able to focus on nothing but my own shit. So, what was I just saying, dude? Holy shit. Had to rewind and play it back because I have no idea what I was just talking about. But I've been thinking this through because I've wanted to quit working for Mina a few times now. And I put it off because I got to make this happen. I'll do it. I need the money. And then, I really get in my head. I'm like, nah, I can't do this. And I talk to Mina and he's like, oh, dude, you're good. And then we have a good time. And then I work and it's no problem. And then I want to quit again. And then he says something. I'm like, it's fine. And I want to quit again. And I'm like, dude, do I just dread this? Do I hate it? What is it? And I'm thinking, okay, well, what if I get the resignation and then I have 40 hours or 50 hours extra per week to work on my own stuff? Would that change anything? And it's like, yeah, of course, because I could work so much more for Mina and that would be great because I could get paid more and I would be no longer negative. And I think financially, that's the smart thing to do. Or, nice crack there. Wow. Or what I do is I focus those 20 hours per week, so 80 hours per month, getting one client, just one client. One. And I won't have to worry about finances because I'll still have my income from my job and that the income from the one client will bring me out of the negative and positive $500. So I need to get, what would that be? That would be almost 1,000. I need to get 2 clients every 3 months to not be in the negative. So I need to get 1 client every 45 days. Now, it's a different story when the resignation hit or when the resignation ends because then I would need to get 3 clients a month to stay afloat. I believe I can do that. And here's the beauty of it. I have to make this happen, and I will make this happen. And let's just say that I'm only getting 1 to 2 clients per month when it is October, when I no longer have the income from my full-time job, if the resignation goes through. There's a lot of ifs, hypotheticals, and shit like that. But let's just say that that's what happens. I can go back to FedEx and I can work part-time. Because if I'm getting 1 client 1 month and maybe 2 the next month, I just need to work FedEx 3 or 4 times a week and I'd be all right. So let's just run the math real quick. So let's just say, I don't know, let's just say I'm doing $215 times 3 times 4 weeks times that for taxes, getting $2,000 a month if I work 3 days a week. So $2,000 a month. If I'm signing one client, then we're good. Still negative, but it's better than what I'm at now. That would actually make me break even because I would be out of the mastermind if I choose to not re-sign. I want to re-sign, but I'm currently being a bitch about it all. So if worst came to worst, I would just not be part of that anymore for the time being. And then I'd break even with 2 clients or with one. Yeah, I would break even with 1 client and my FedEx income of 3 days a week. So I'm not worried about that. Now, if I got 2 clients, then that'd be about $3,000 income. Now, obviously I need to pay taxes and all that stuff's going to come back later. Fully understand. But for the time being, dude, I'm going to do what I can do. So if that's $3,000 that I make from just 2 clients, then because I'm doing paid in fulls, I feel like that's just a better option for me right now. Monthly would be great, but I think paid in full would be much better for me right now. Then once I climb the ranks, I think it'd be better to go for some of that recurring. So it's just the guaranteed income, a little safety net, I guess. But anyway, so if that's $3,000 that I make, then I would only have to work 1 FedEx shift a week for the month to make the same amount of income or to cover myself, You can just call it 2, whatever. But that's just kind of like the bar is just so fucking low for me, Right now it's sell 1 client. 1. That's it. And then once the resignation ends and I don't get paid, assuming all of that goes through, then I'm going to have to make 3 per month. And I just, dude, the bar is so fucking low and I just overthink it everything, And I always talk about this, and the more I talk about it, the more I'm like, holy shit, dude, I'm just going in circles and I'm being very silly. But anyway, so that's where I was going with it. So like even the 20 hours, per week, it's 20 hours, dude. It's 20 hours a week. It's a part-time job. I get it. Getting paid $600 a week to work 20 hours. It's fair, dude. But I just don't want to, and I don't care how financially dumb that might be for me right now to decline $2,400 a month of this under the table money. I just don't want to. I would rather have that time and focus it on my own stuff. And it's, the more I say it out loud, it's not even about that. It's just about not having to worry about somebody else's stuff. Because I'm helping him build his empire. I should be helping me build mine, Fuck. Okay, well, that felt good to get off my chest a little bit. Just a little rant session. So, I got to finish this yogurt. I'm going to sip on this protein as I go to the gym now. And I'm not going to be able to eat anything after the gym. Well, the thing is, I can have something after the gym. It would just extend my feeding window. So if I finish the workout around 8, then I'm not going to be able to eat tomorrow until noon. And I guess that's fine. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I'm not going to force myself to down this. Yeah, I'm going to save it for after the gym. Yeah, we'll be all right. We'll be all right. Figured it out. Other thing with the intermittent fasting, part of my diet is I'm forcing myself, no matter what, to stick with the time frame. So if it's 8 hours, or if it's 16 hours fasting, then I'm not going to eat 1 second earlier than 16 hours. And I'm not going to eat 1 second later than, I guess that would defeat itself. Whatever it is, I'm not going to eat 1 second earlier than 8 hours. That's what I mean. So I can move the feeding window around however I want, but it's going to be 16 hours no matter what. Not going to be more, not going to be less. It's going to be 16. Because it could be more, but it's not intentional. But anyway. So that's just kind of a brain dump today. And I can promise you that I wouldn't be feeling half the things that I feel today if I would have not spent the first 5 hours and then 2 hours later of my day just pissing it away. I probably would feel much better. But, oh well. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the gym and I'm going to try my best to have a good workout and try to film some stuff. But it is what it is. I got to do my crucible. I think I got to post one more time. But yeah, so what else is there? Is there anything else that I wanted to talk about? I think we're good. All right, guys. Well, I appreciate you listening. Thanks for coming to this vent session, whatever. Talk to you guys later. Peace out. That's it for today. If you got some sort of value or you were entertained, please consider leaving a rating on the platform that you're listening on. It helps a ton. If you are looking for a more polished version of this show, you can check out the Allegiant Excellence podcast, where I go deep into mindset, discipline, fitness, and personal development as a man. And don't forget to check out the links below and read the description. There are sometimes things written there that didn't quite make it on the episode. So thank you so much for your ongoing support in a guy that has massive ambition but nothing to show for it quite yet. And as always, thank you for taking time out of your day to listen and support. I'll see you tomorrow.